What's going on, gamer guys and gals from around the globe? It's Miniwin with another video. Today, we're going to be bringing gamers out of the COD closet and into the battlefield. First of all, comparing these two franchises is apples to oranges, and I'll admit it, I am biased on the topic. There's also way too much diversity between the Battlefield and COD titles to tackle in just one video, so I'm going to narrow the scope to just their most recent games with the following thesis. Battlefield 2042 is a better video game than Call of Duty Black Ops 6. TLDR, Battlefield has vehicle play and scale, Call of Duty just doesn't. With that in mind, let's begin with Black Ops 6's strengths. COD has been iterating and perfecting gunplay and movement for well over a decade now. It simply feels good to play. Its controls are tight and responsive, the guns sound good and look really nice, and getting kills and kill streaks is deeply satisfying. The progression system adds to the satisfaction of getting things like headshots, since you know you're actually grinding out camos in the process. Kills and deaths in general feel more meaningful in COD, at least for me, as I can't help but fall into the trap of worrying about my KD among other stats. This is a good and a bad thing, but it's part of COD's identity and culture. Now, comparing my own Call of Duty clips to my 2042 clips, the look and feel of the gameplay is night and day. In COD, I feel like a squirrel hunting for nuts, evading predators, head on a swivel big time. It's almost as if I always chug a Red Bull before a COD match, if that makes any sense. Battlefield, on the other hand, due to its vast open maps, is a little bit more methodical and paced out. Firefights are still intense, and there's plenty of close quarter situations, but with breaks in between. Now's a good time to mention that I'm primarily a Conquest 64 player, which is kind of the largest scale and, in my opinion, truest Battlefield experience. But there's plenty of other game modes to choose from, like Breakthrough, that actually condense the map into smaller areas and put more focus on infantry combat. But me, to be real, I play for the vehicles.
They control more sectors than us. Move to counterattack.
So, as you can tell, there is something about a projectile falling right into its target and watching it go boom that is deeply satisfying to me. If those clips could convince just one person to try Battlefield, I would be absolutely thrilled. They communicate my argument way better than words ever could. When I'm not swatting helis out of the sky, I'm usually piloting them, which is also an absolute blast to do, but what makes this game truly special is how the different elements on the battlefield play off of each other and create incredible opportunities for teamwork. The gunship, for example, has 6 seats, including a pilot, 3 gunners, and 2 side door passengers that can make repairs or use any of their infantry kit. With a good crew, it can be an absolute beast in the sky, also serving as a mobile spawn point for your entire team when there's seats available. It's never easy being a pilot, however, having to contend with anti-aircraft vehicles, lock-on launchers, other aircraft, etc. In this way, everybody keeps each other in check. The interplay between land vehicles, aircraft, and infantry is commonly referred to as the Holy Trinity, and this is really why I'm such a fanboy of these games. Call of Duty, on the other hand, is focused solely on the infantry experience, utilizing score streaks to bring vehicles into the picture. Score streaks are extremely rewarding and fun to use in Black Ops 6, and add a huge amount of weight to the value of getting kills and the detriment of dying. However, I've found that as the lobbies get sweatier, franchise favorites like the attack helicopter are usually immediately shot down, and there's little you can do to stop it. I can't speak on the experience of actually using the chopper gunner or the dreadnought, because I'm just not that good to warrant actually equipping them. They are powerful though, and at least give you the the ability to target the people trying to blow you up. I will concede that score streaks like the LDBR and the Hellstorm add a lot of flavor to the game. Having ordnance like that is really cool and a big component of Modern Warfare that 2042 doesn't have. Although I've barely touched the franchise since Black Ops 2, I do get the sense that they are just iterating on old score streaks / kill streaks at this late stage. This isn't a complaint, just an observation of the fact that they've pretty much done everything possible in previous titles. Depending on how you count, there are around 21 COD games right now, with one release every single year. I don't expect them to wildly innovate on their score streaks at this point. Battlefield handles the distribution of vehicles with a first come, first served policy. And yes, I am the guy that spam clicks the vehicle I want when I know there isn't one currently in play, but that's kind of a side effect of the way the system is set up. I do share though, if I lose a heli I won't just camp its replacement, partially to be polite, but also because I really enjoy filling different roles as the game progresses. It adds a lot of depth and variety to the gameplay. As I'm flying around here, take a moment to appreciate how vertical and breathtaking this map is. The map design is far from perfect in 2042 and lacks a lot of the large-scale levelation mechanics that Battlefield 4 had, but it cultivates dynamic play and each map serves as a phenomenal playground for the player to explore. A lot of people that I've talked to about Battlefield deem it to be a running simulator, which is a fair critique and something that I'm quite familiar with from my time in previous titles. But 2042 has solutions, like the ability to call vehicles to your location, mobility equipment like the wingsuit, and map design that is less dead space than previous titles. And most importantly, you can actually pick where you want to spawn, whether it be on transport vehicles like the gunship I mentioned earlier, on objectives your team holds, or on members of your squad. This design choice heavily encourages and downright funnels players into playing alongside their squad mates, a system that helps narrow the scope of what is otherwise a chaotic game mode hosting 128 players at a time. Compare this to Black Ops 6's spawning system and map design, and you can see why it can be downright frustrating to switch back to spawning wherever the game chooses. All of these claustrophobic 3-lane maps like Nuketown put the clunkiness of this system on full display. You need only look the other way to cause an enemy to spawn right beside you, a mechanic that is thoroughly abused by anyone with the opportunity. Spawn camping is, however, another one of those things that, for better or worse, gives COD its personality. If you played the original MW2, you know what I'm talking about. So where does that leave us? We compared vehicle combat to score streaks, we talked briefly about gunplay in both games, as well as the differences in map design and spawn mechanics. I recognize that I'm trying to sell COD players something they don't necessarily want or need. There are a lot of reasons that Black Ops 6 is outperforming 2042 so dramatically. With an estimated 500 million versus 7.3 million units sold respectively, I get it. I have maybe tenfold or more hours on COD than Battlefield throughout my life. It's more accessible, faster paced, and more immediately gratifying. It does what it does really well. I was inspired to talk about this by meeting a lot of different people that either play COD and have no interest in Battlefield, or haven't even heard of Battlefield at all. So please, disagree with me. I would love to hear any rebuttals to or expansions of the arguments presented. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. This has been Miniwin. Game out.